if you get your film approved and investor money starts coming in, the normal deal is the very first dollar that comes in pays back whoever put up the money for development, because they're buying your film. They're buying an interest in your film. They can't buy an interest and still owe money. So they pay you. So if you put in $50,000, they pay you $60,000. You put in 100, they pay you back 120. It's normally whatever you put in plus 20% for the fact that you put it all up front.
Is that how the SBA works as well?
Nope, the SBA is totally
So,
different.
so I mean, if you're doing the SBA Capline program and you've got the budget, you've got a contract fulfilled, I think Chris
You
Helton
can pay
said
yourself back for
you
sure.
do actually get to pay yourself back that debt.
Yes, yes, but that's not required. You decide to do that.
Right.
It's not, they don't force you to take the money. It doesn't work quite like that. You're determining. Remember, you don't want to pay yourself 300 or 400 or 500 times what you put in, because you still need enough money to make the film. You want to make the film to then become a filmmaker. So
and then make a profit, make a business that makes money.
Yes, but you should take your money back for sure. You put up that money, that's a completely legitimate, whatever your expenses were, those are legitimate expenses that went towards making that film. And you should get that back plus 20%. But if you had a credit card, you'd pay it down. If you had a personal loan, you retire it. You have to close it. You can't keep using it.
Right.
So there's advantages and disadvantages of all of these things.
So and I think it's, so now, so there's sort of, people routinely start their companies on using their own personal credit because it's just the most natural thing to do. And then, and everybody does do it for whatever reason, unless they have generous family members who are willing to front the costs without making them put any money in, which is wonderful. You should get parents like that.
Yes, we all should.
Yeah, I want that parent.
Adopt me.
It's not too late. So, so you might develop your project. Then at some point you have a production company and you've actually started the actual business. And let's assume that we're starting a company that sort of produces not just one film, but might produce multiple films, or it's producing a series. In that instance, the company needs its own actual credit cards. It needs to have its own economic life. So in that case, you do start thinking about establishing business credit and establishing for the actual company itself. So can you talk, and I think you've just kind of talked about how that transition happens. If I was doing a film, I raised the money for the development, I ended up getting funded, I paid off my personal debt, my credit cards that has a development cost or whatever on it. Then all of a sudden I have the company, and the company, in order for it not to use my credit cards ever again, needs to have its own credit. So what kinds of credit are available to companies? Or how does finance work for companies when it comes to day-to-day operations?
The problem is going to be, I can often get, let's say, $50,000 worth of business credit for a startup company that's not personally guaranteed, but it's not what you think it is. It's not credit cards that can be used anywhere. It's lines of credit at Apple, Microsoft, Verizon, Staples. Now, some of these companies have nearly unlimited products. One of them, most obviously, would be Amazon. If I can get your company a $10,000 Amazon card, there's very few things you can't get on Amazon.
Or Apple, if you're going to be editing stuff, right? So there's a reason to have that level of credit. It's not cash.
I just want to make sure that people understand that's not cash. So if you're going to open up a legitimate business that's going to be around years and years and years, and not, I'm going to make this one film and that's it ever, then you want to start with personal credit cards and business credit cards because it gives you the credibility. But then allow me to move you into things like non-personally guaranteed business credit. And again, that's not, for the most part, that's not cash. It's locked to certain stores, but it's a lot of stores, pretty much every store in the country. I mean, we have people with $20,000 BJ's wholesale accounts for their business, and it's not personally guaranteed. I'm not inviting people to do anything wrong here, but I'm telling you, not personally guaranteed means if, God forbid, your business collapses, it's not your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really closing your business owes that money, but your business is closed, so they'll never get the money.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, I mean, now I'm not saying do it to abuse it,
Mm-hmm.
but if you legitimately go out of business, that's fine.